Oh hey internet, what's up? Welcome to Dungeon Fighter Online as we take on the female priest, one of their newer classes. First, I apologize, we're kind of diving into it without a lot of introduction, but there is some login and some security, sort of like passwordy like stuff that obviously I can let you guys see. So, unfortunately, we did skip the intro cutscene movie, but I will do my best to kind of fill in the blanks, I guess, at least as we're going on right now. But as I'm sure you guys know, there's probably not a whole lot of backstory that we really need to worry about too much. But as you can tell, it's kind of a 2.5 action adventure game, with some RPG elements. This character is completely keyboard driven, so we have our arrow keys are the movements, and as you can see, a lot of the skills are mapped there on the bottom right when that kind of pops up. And it's kind of teaching me some basic combos as well. So you got ASD for your special attacks, and then you have ZX as like light heavy attacks as well as C as your jump. And I guess we're just kind of roaming about right now, saving it looks like the training priestess as well as well as this mysterious swordsman of sorts. We gotta go help him. And I'm gonna try to make a good effort of going through the lore and the text with everyone. Something I haven't really done in my own personal playthroughs, but we're not gonna do like goofy voices or whatever. But we're gonna try our best to go over the text and the story. But yes, as you can tell, there's a lot of stuff going on, and we'll cover what we can when we come around to it. But we're just gonna kind of keep it basic for the moment. So it looks like we got some evil cultists of sorts with a mysterious cloud attacking somebody. And then in like a Diablo fashion, we have that orb, that red orb on the left, that's your health, blue orb on the right. There we go, leveled up, just like that. Level 2. And you can see on the bottom of that, we have that toolbar, so we can have different healing items and other sort of items that kind of we can map to our buttons on 1 through 6 there. Our fatigue bar on the below there as well. Oh, there's this is my village. You must be tired from a long journey. Why don't you move to my room and continue our conversation? That's apparently the girl we just saved. So we're starting here on a town called Silver Crown. And we have this little home base portal that's kind of like our own little home base, but I'll hush it through the movie here.
인간과 몬스터들이 평화를 유지하며 살아가고 있었어요. 하지만 다른 세상의 것들이 흘러들어오는 전이현상이 일어나면서 모든 것은 바뀌고 말았죠. 사악한 전이의 기운은 아라드의 모습과 몬스터, 그리고 인간의 본성마저도 바꿔놓기에 충분했어요. 마이어님의 지혜를 이어받은 요정들이 대마법진을 수호하며 전이의 기운을 막고 있었지만 인간에 의해 발생한 대화재에 의해 그란 플로리스 숲과 대마법진, 그리고 요정마저 사라지고 말았어요. 절망의 끝에서 우리를 구원한 것이 바로 성스러운 나무 실버 크라운이었답니다. 이후 살아남은 사람들의 노력으로 세상은 안정을 되찾고 있지만 전이가 계속되는 이상 안심할 수는 없겠지요. 제 이름은 세리아 키르민. 위험에 처한 아라들을 구해줄 특별한 분을 기다리고 있었답니다. 바로 모험가님 같은 분을 말이죠.
Alright, good stuff. In fact, I'm going to kind of flub through these options real quick. I was trying to find an area where we can find and watch the previous intro movies for the female priest, but I'm not really finding it. But real quick, going over the video we just saw, it kind of just explains the sort of the new world that Dungeon Fighter Online exists in. This is kind of, I think, like the second incarnation, and they kind of explain how they kind of destroy the old version and this new version kind of emerges. For those who kind of remember the old Nexon, the old Nexon days, like maybe like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years ago. But I'm not necessarily going to find it immediately. I thought it was here, but maybe not. Certainly, if you're more familiar with the options on Dungeon Fighter Online, please let me know. Otherwise, she thanks you for saving her. Syria Kiriman, I don't know how to repay you, but here's some junk. The forest you passed is called Abnova. It used to be a peaceful haven for small animals, and since the great Metastasis, it's been... the spirits used to be kind and gentle, but they woke up from the black nightmare from which you saved me, full of anger and violence. My villagers said that the nightmare was also part of the aftermath of the great Metastasis. Can we ever be free of its clutches? Speaking of which, you should talk to Vitala. She protects the Pinnacle, so no more tragedies like the great Metastasis will befall on us. She can tell you many things. Alright, so it sounds like we have a mission to do so, and go speak with this person. But first, there's a lot of random stuff to check out. All those icons above our fatigue bar, or all these events that kind of give you free stuff, if not just for the day, as well as all these extra characters hanging out in our little room here. The mailbox is a staple that's on the far right, as well as our chest. The mailbox is what essentially we get our items from when we do events and stuff like that, as well as trades and stuff we buy from the store. Merlin and the avatar closet thing over there on the left, I'm not so sure what they're all about. They're likely events, as well as the honey bear. They're probably temporary events for maybe a month or so. So I'm not too familiar with them, but we'll check them out. But to be completely honest, a lot of these events take a lot of work and a lot of time. So I've learned with some of these free-to-play online games is that I can only dip my toes into that type of stuff and really give so much of a damn. So we're kind of going through some of the freebies that they've given us to kind of log back in. But yeah, that's all those sort of events and news things on top of the fatigue bar. However, I haven't even described what the fatigue bar is. The fatigue bar is a way that they kind of in the past, kind of cut you off from playing hours and hours and hours and hours of Dungeon Fighter Online. That still actually may be the case here, but but I think recently they've made the fatigue bar a thing as you're playing more of it, the more your character gets, how stronger your character gets. But I could be wrong. I haven't really loaded this game up in maybe 4 to 6 months, so we are going to come across a bit of rustiness, I suppose. Leads us right over to Vitala. But first, more junk. Have more stuff, please. And an interesting thing, it's not really picking up my my little pointer finger that I'm selecting things with, but oh well. I don't think that's all that necessary. Welcome, I'm Vitala, guardian bestowed with blue. Okay then. This village used to be a hamlet. Victims of the great Metastasis worked together to build it into what it is now. I'm the guardian of the Pinnacle, and also the village named after Silver Crown. I was told you saved Syria, my friend and a villager of Silver Crown. Thank you, and welcome to the town, I suppose. I assume you are aware of the great Metastasis that swept across the Arad continent. It destroyed forests and villages and left animals and plants affected by its terrifying life-changing effects. I can't believe it's already been a year since it's happened. Our village was unaffected and remained peaceful, all thanks to something I just skipped through. Are you planning to stay here, or are you leaving soon for someplace? I don't have a place to go yet. By the way, That black smoke that attacks area, you said it called the Black Nightmare? About that, not much is known about it. I don't think it would be so threatening to people, but I was wrong. Isn't it dangerous that the nightmare is growing bigger? More villagers could fall victim to it. It is. And somehow, and someone, man, this is, I'm even going to slow, check out this dude, she says. If he's Sir Argonzo, I wouldn't worry, but the forest is too dangerous for everyone else. Sir Argonzo? Don't you mean the one who defeated the apostles in the Screaming Cavern? I've always wanted to meet him. I saw where he went, but I might have lost his way. I'll go look for him. And that was the mysterious swordsman-like character we came across the first time. But already I gave myself, when I was playing this, like, you know, some extra time to make sure I read it, but even still, I guess I haven't given myself enough time. But then again, I am a pretty wretched reader anyway. I've made mention of it in past videos, but yeah, growing up, especially in the elementary school, I had a lot of speaking problems and a lot of stuttering issues, so, as well as like dyslexia. So well, you know, I'm doing my best. I think we can mutter through and really just bash through this shit, but you know, it's not going to be perfect by any means. And just exploring some of these other options. I really wanted to check out the intro sort of female priest stuff. But what I would probably suggest is you probably can find that on YouTube all the same if you search for it. I think it's probably going to be a cool watch, but I don't think it's going to be like it won't necessarily change anything. You know, we're just a traveling adventure. We just showed up at a town that needs help. Is that good enough? I think that's good enough. So here we are going to Ludion, I suppose. So we do have skill points. However, you know, with 30 skill points there, it's below the blue orb. However, you know, early on, you really don't need to worry about it too much. And especially there, we just leveled up to level 3. You can kind of tell that some of these early levels are pretty unnecessary. You know, you're pretty overpowered here anyway. Top right corner gives us a sort of map of where to go, and of course, you know, when you enter a screen like this, you got to kill all the enemies, and then the portals on the map open up. So when we're on level 4 already, and then you can see as we defeat the last enemy, the portals sort of allow us to move to another screen. And then if we move right enough as you kill on that map on the top right, eventually we'll come across the boss room. There we are, level 5. It's crazy. It's crazy, man. And as you can tell on our sort of updates bar, news bar, event bar, above our fatigue bar, you know, a lot of stuff going on, right? You know, that scroll pops up with a new quest, so always something to kind of keep an eye out as you know, your EXP is going to really come from completing quests, and that's what essentially we want to do. Not only do we want to just beat the bejesus out of every monster we come across, we want to complete quests. And in fact, that really is what you know, pushes the story along. You're the young adventurer I saw the other day. Sir Gonzo, I came to find you at Vitala's request. I was going to leave quietly, but I'm done. Well, alright, just give me a moment to seal this last one. And there he is, putting that werewolf in an ice cube. And a sort of like freebie reward page for finishing a level. Welcome back. You've met Sir Argonzo. I'm glad both of you are safe. More monsters are affected by the nightmare than I thought. I could seal all of them, but at least the worst of them are taken care of. What do you mean? The nightmare that has befallen the spirits of Abnova have been dispersed, but only temporarily. It can't be left alone, so I asked around and heard that Sir Argonzo and his colleagues have found a way to contain the nightmare to seal it while they're inside animals. Monsters, when they are first affected by the nightmare, fall asleep, and then they wake up frenzied. When they seal away while they're asleep, so the nightmare will be sealed away along with them. It seems to be the only way. Guardian, I took care of the nightmare in Abnova, but not completely. You should warn the people to keep clear of the forest for a while. I should leave now. I have to lock those sealed monsters inside the ice wall of resignation. At least they wake up again. Please excuse me. And there we go. Things in the forest have quieted down, but aside from the nightmare-affected monsters that our guns have sealed away, violent monsters still remain. We should follow... Whoa. But the forest of our livelihood, we can't wait too long to use it again. I can at least check the borders to the near of the forest near the village. Most of the guards are still recovering from their injuries from the great Metastasis. I'd appreciate if you do that. No worries. I like to explore places, and who knows, I might find something interesting in there as well. Alright, so we got some... Looks like we got a new cross, which is a pretty interesting weapon for this class. Just carry around this giant, club shaped like a crucifix and just beat everything down. But yeah, some of my history with DFO. I've always been a huge supporter of the priest class. Up until recently, there's only been the male class for priest, so you'll be able to see those guys pop around as well. Also, I played a mage class called the Creator. That was really fun. That's been kind of my main in the last couple of years or so. Type QQ, you've grown so much in such a short amount of time. Open your skill window and learn a new skill. Don't worry, blah blah blah. Don't worry, it's not that important, she says. And we'll certainly do that. But yeah, me and the priests go way back. I don't know if there was a class for the priest I didn't play. They were very tanky and were very niche as well. They all had like particular weird things about them. It seemed very very much like they covered a lot of different grounds. From healing to damage to magic spells, that sort of thing. And I think this class is the same, but then again, it's rather new, and I really don't know a whole lot about it. So that's what kind of inspired this whole series. And, I apologize for right now. We're kind of just bumbling through all the preliminary sort of organizing and event planning, and not really event planning, just kind of like, just give me what you want to give me and then get the frig out of my face. So much stuff going on. Alright, so we're going to look at some skills and learn them. We have 150 skill points. And at this point, they're kind of giving you a sort of brush of all the different type of skills you can kind of learn. And you can tell some of them are made for different styles of classes down the road. So they're going to kind of give you a little bit of everything from the melee attacks that we're going to kind of focus on for our Inquisitors, to the sort of the magic attacks the Mistress has, like this one here. To the Crusader, or whatever the equivalent to the Crusader is in this class. I think it still might even be called the Crusader, to be honest. But that's more or less the healing and support stuff. And I believe they have a Shaman as well, another magic class. I believe it's 4, but what we're going to be doing is the Inquisitor, which is a sort of more or less DPS solo beatdown subclass. In fact, I think if we just open our eyes and kind of look at the background, you can tell, those 4 columns between, the Crusader, Inquisitor, the Shaman, and then the Mistress. So we're going to really kind of focus right on that second column primarily. And it's kind of a cool addition that they've done that. But also that there's a top bar. Those are kind of like universal skills as well. So if we wanted to master throwing weapons, or master I forget, maybe that's like an MP regeneration thing, I forget now. But we can certainly do that. It's not entirely important at this moment. I would say what we should be doing right now is focusing on the skills that we're learning right now, and just kind of get the idea of how they work, because that's going to be kind of like the foundation of how we're going to grow with this character, leading on, following, as things go, as we progress and get more experience, and learn more skills. We got to learn these skills first. But, as we're fiddling with our skills, I do want to say, I do want to thank everyone for participating in the Twitter poll to make the series a thing. However, I do understand that the poll was very close, and I think maybe by just 2 to 4 people. So I understand there's probably a lot of people who are not so thrilled that this is a thing. I understand, and I made mention in the video prior that, even day one, right here on this first video, this video series is on life support. So if this, so if DFO doesn't really pull a lot of great viewership or likes, we're just going to kind of move on and pick something else. So, however, if people are enjoying it, we'll continue on. And I apologize, I missed that sort of that quest text by rambling, but certainly go back and pause the video yourself, and if you wanted to check that out. Some one-day avatar stuff. They like to give you a lot of freebie temporary stuff to kind of tease you into buying stuff. So we're going to get pretty here for a little bit, but it's just really going to be for this video. By the time we load up our next video, it's all going to be gone, and they might just offer us another day one pack. Who knows? This game certainly can kind of bombard you with freebies and events sometimes, but that's kind of the thing of some free-to-play games, is that they give you just so much free samples, to kind of really sink you into the game and give you a sort of false value in your inventory. As sinister and mean that sounds, I really didn't mean it that much. It's just, that's the business model of a free-to-play game, is that they offer you a free game to explore, but they kind of want you to, pay for some good stuff. So now we're a pretty girl now with our sneakers and black jeans. In fact, we actually have a pretty awesome weapon now, but that's a temporary weapon for a level 6 character. So we're going to complete that mission. We that we kind of skipped over, but it looks like you can tell on the right side of the screen. The mission is to look around Ludian, so we're going to exactly do that. It looks like it's just a short little stage here with a few rooms. Back up, and then up to level 7. You can see with that green bar, that's our experience bar as well. And here we are, just kind of experimenting with our attacks, our special new skills that we picked up. The spirits have calmed down. Are they still affected by the great metastasis? Why are they getting hotter? Is there a fire? Ho, ho, ho! The flames blooming in my fingertips are so pretty. Why are you doing this? Are you going to burn down the whole forest? My fire burns bright, blah, 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 blah. Oh, my head, what am I doing? You just got fucked up. That's what happens. I just used that, raid skill to just jump and drive my crucifix in her face. Yeah, you just got knocked the fuck out. Oh, I can't believe Stara was up to something like that. Thank the gods that you came and beat her fucking brains out. So she's saying it. She's worried that if this character fell to the nightmare, many others will as well. I met him a few days ago when I was checking the ice spirits under this command. I didn't notice anything strange about him back then. Seems like there's another person they're suspecting. Vitala, you're here. I came to the forest to check on the spirits. I've learned something while I was there. Right now I'm making a regent. You should come by my lab venture. If you're not busy, you should come over as well. So, got some more gear. Eventually, when we pick up another subclass, it's going to prefer a style of armor. Right now, it's not particularly important to worry about what we're wearing. As you know, like, things just blow up in front of us. So, you know, as the levels and experience and levels tack on, certainly your equipment is very important, but at this point, not so much. And we're just gonna kind of get rid of this junk and sell it. And this is sort of the quest book as well, where you can kind of go through and check out, make sure you're not missing any quests, and because you can kind of do a few of them at the same time if they're all in the same area. Anything to do. Both of you came. Please take a look at this. This is data I've collected from the spirits of Abnova. Organzo's visit has significantly reduced the number of blah blah blah. Something else is going on. The cores of the spirits are being contaminated rapidly and serious since the core's effect of their well-being. You mean the spirits continue to act violently, this time because of the reason other than the nightmare? That's right. Could you collect the energy of the spirits in the forest? They're acting so violently that I may be able to collect enough samples. This time, the cause is not the nightmare, so I have high hopes of restoring peace in Abnova. Please help. So what really is going on here? Who really died that day? So you can see there's a great number of different classes to pick up as well. Some ranged classes and some other DPS classes and the like. So we have 30 more skill points. No reason why we can't throw that in other places. And try not to wholly smash, although I think we're going to kind of pull away from it as we learn more Inquisitor-like stuff. So here we are checking out that sort of Frost Man. Level 8. And you can tell there's that sort of area on the ground there that's going to give us a bonus on our stats there. Attack speed is significantly increased for a set period. And that set period is going to be determined by the icons right above our healing items on that toolbar. That's going to temporarily be there, but the effects are going to be there while those icons are sticking around. I do like that raid move of jumping in the air and smashing everything. Seems pretty handy, at least at this moment. So yeah, it looks like he's been corrupted by something or other. Or maybe it's us, and we're just like, hey, how's it going? Beat the living hell out of him. So, that poor guy's been bashed with my cross a few times. Thank you, that should be enough to make a sedative for the spirits. Get some gear. Ah, you're back. I became worried when I heard that you went inside the forest. I sensed a growing ball of terrifying energy from that direction, from the forest, that after you entered it, someone must be angry with you. Maybe that's why I had a bad feeling. It seems you're very sensitive to causes in the atmosphere. It must be Zaluth. You're the only one trying to help, but he can take it as a challenge to his authority. He can't be left alone, otherwise he might interfere with Morgan's making cure. Adventurer Zaluth gave me his energy of ice before he lost control of his brain, and that must be Zaluth. Must be the boss we just defeated. Yeah, you can tell. Spirit King Zaluth's interference is our next quest, which I think we're going to pick up on another time. To be completely honest, I think we're going to wrap up this video. And they do a good job of explaining which items are better for you rather quickly, so you don't necessarily have to muck around too much. They pretty much say, hey, this is better than what you have, wear it. And it seems like everything on the events bar is just like popping. $60 more skill points. Just kind of max out some of those more basic attacks. But we can certainly go back and fix those skills as well. Certainly not permanent, and as we get along with subclasses, we're going to get all those skill points back anyway and kind of reset them how we want. But yeah, that's going to be it for this video. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a like, leave a comment, do all that stuff. And we'll come back and play some more Dungeon Fighter Online in the future.